Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So thrilled to have you all here tonight. One guy is really thrilled, more than the rest of you. How many that are in this room tonight ever had the chance to actually see Elvis Presley live in person in concert? Okay. That is, in spite of how many performances Elvis Presley did in his lifetime and in his career, you have to realize what a rare treasure that is, what a rare treasured memory it is for you that you got that opportunity to see Elvis live in person doing a concert. There's a lot of people in here that didn't get to do that. And so we're thrilled tonight to bring you an experience that is the closest thing that we can get when it comes to having Elvis Presley in the building. And so tonight we present Elvis in concert with some great special guests that will be on stage. Two of the members of his vocal group are here along with their entourage. That's Larry Strickland singing bass. And Terry Blackwood singing lead. And then in just a little while, two of the greatest musicians on this planet that have ever been involved in anybody's musical career will be here. They graced the stage with Elvis Presley for a number of years as well. Mr. Glenn Hardin on piano. And on guitar, Mr. James Burton. You will see a live band here. This is the band Six Wire, of which I'm a part of. We all come out of Nashville, Tennessee. They're here, along with our horn section from here in Memphis. And you will get an experience tonight where you get to see Elvis on screen performing with this band, along with Glenn Hardin, James Burton, Terry Blackwood, Larry Strickland. So we'll be presenting Elvis in concert in just a moment, but a nice special treat surprise for you right now. I would like to introduce to you a very, very special person, special to all of us and especially special to Elvis Presley. Please make welcome Priscilla Presley.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, what a sight. Jeez.
Priscilla.
Look at this background. Wow.
It's a thrill. He loves you.
I love you too.
I'm glad you guys could finally say that to one another. It's a special moment for all of us. It's a thrill to have you here on stage, and it's a thrill to have you back at Graceland tonight. And I think it's a thrill to have everybody here after the year that we've had this past year. What's it feel like to be able to be back here in the room with everyone at Graceland?
I'm shocked, only because I can't believe I'm out of my house. I'm out of my house. I'm here with all of you, and this has been a long time coming. And you know, the ladies who were doing Elegant Style with me, we had a great time. That was March. That's when it started. We almost didn't have it because that was coming upon us. And from then on until now, it's been difficult for all of us, but here we are, and it's a beautiful sight for me. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Priscilla, we were talking backstage about Elvis returning to live appearances in 1969, and before you came on the stage, I asked this crowd how many folks had actually seen an Elvis Presley concert in person, and it was quite a few, more than I expected. And I was telling them what a rare treasure that is if they got to do that, if they got to see Elvis in person. There was a long period of time where Elvis was not performing live, and he was mostly making movies. And you were there when Elvis was returning to live performing in 1969. What was he like? Was he a bundle of nerves? Was he excited? How was it?
You know what? You asked me that down there, and I said, this is going to be my speech tonight, how he was and what he was before, and the nerves that he had. Now, I have no speech, so is this it for me? Am I leaving after I talk about this?
You were there. I'd like to hear it in your words.
All right, then that means I'm not coming back on, because this is it, if this is the thing. Okay, so believe it or not, and when I see the sight in front of me right now, it is so beautiful, because Elvis was so nervous about doing the 68 special. We had gone on vacation in Hawaii for 2 weeks, And it was in May, I believe, and then we had July, he was going to start rehearsing. He was a nervous wreck. He started having considerations. What have I done? I haven't used my voice for so long. I haven't done any songs, and I've been out of the business for a while, and he was nervous. And he said, what if no one comes? How in the world is he going to, what's going to happen? And this is the honest to God truth. So he said, I'm so nervous, and I had really never seen him like this before. He talked to the guys, and he talked to his daddy about it. And then he went into rehearsal, of course, and the rehearsals were basically ad-libbed. There was no plan, there was no choreographer, there was no real producer. So Elvis and the guys started playing. You probably know, where are they? They're not here. And when they were rehearsing, they were just doing their thing. Elvis singing, Elvis picking out the songs. He got a little bit more comfortable with it, but still not knowing what it was going to be like. So when he went out on that stage, he really couldn't see the audience until the soft lights were coming on. And he looked, and of course the show began, and he gave one hell of a show. It was unbelievable. So unbelievable that Sammy Davis Jr. came into the dressing room. I was there. And he said, oh my God, Elvis, I've never, ever seen a performance like this. There is no other entertainer that could put an act on like you. He was like almost on his knees praising Elvis. The same thing with Cary Grant. He also came. Frank Sinatra were there. Elvis couldn't believe it. He was like, after that, it was like the rest is history. You all saw the show, and that was the show. And yes, he got nervous just like everybody else. But what a show it was, and we have all been able to see it on the 68, not the 68 special as well, but to see him perform. But that stage show was phenomenal, and no one to this day can match it. There you go.
Well, it is so wonderful to have you here and to hear you tell these stories about Elvis, because you were there and you saw it firsthand. And we always get to hear the human side of Elvis Presley, who we all have put up here on a pedestal, where he belongs, of course, but we forget sometimes that he was a man, and you tell us the human side of it that we get to hear, and reminds us that he was a real guy. And it's just such a thrill to get to hear this stuff from you. Ladies and gentlemen, Priscilla Presley.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to introduce two guys that, one who was there when Elvis returned to live performing in Las Vegas, and another that joined him a little bit later in his career. Please make welcome Mr. Terry Blackwood and Mr. Larry Strickland. All right, so in 1969, Terry Blackwood in 1969. Hey, let's step over here into the light. Here we are. Okay, good. I guess it was 1969 when Elvis was returning to live performing. You were part of the Imperials, and Elvis had always said that was one of his favorite groups ever. When did you get the call when did you guys get the call that you were going to be joining Elvis in Las Vegas as his background vocal group, and what kind of reaction did all the guys in the Imperials have?
Well, Elvis called our good friend and owner of the Imperials, Joe Mascao. You remember Joe? And Elvis asked Joe, would the Imperials consider opening in Las Vegas in the end of July with him? And it took Joe about 10 seconds to decide to say yes. And so from that was the beginning of our 2.5 year run with Elvis. It was great. We enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, that's terrific. Larry, you joined Elvis a little later in his career, and then you recently learned, he wants you to get out of the way. No, come on back over here. Now, Larry, you got a call to come join Elvis. I think it was 1974. I think you told me when you joined Elvis. So when did you get that call, and whose place were you taking, and then how long were you there? How many shows you do?
I actually replaced Richard Sturban, who went with the Oak Ridge Boys, and I was in North Carolina. Got the call to come to Nashville and audition with J.D. Sumner and the Stamps, and yeah. And so I got the job, and from that time on, and I was telling you, someone figured out for me not long ago that from that late time in joining, I actually think I was probably the last person to join the entourage and join the show. But I did over 200 concerts with him, during that time. So, yeah, it was a blast.
You had some other news. Your wife is Naomi Judd, and they had Naomi and Winona had an exciting thing happen today, didn't they?
Yeah, they just got inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame. Yeah. Yes, that happened about 10 o'clock this morning. So, yes, the family's doing good.
Tell you this, a couple of years ago, I produced an album that was a gospel album where we used some of Elvis's unused takes, and called "Where No One Stands Alone," and it had the duet with Lisa Marie on it. And I got these guys and several others that used to sing with Elvis to come sing on the record, and we did some new tracks for it and all. And I'm telling you, as bass singers go, this guy is just deadly accurate. He is fantastic. As I recorded all these things on him, he was dead on all the time. Great, great singer. And Terry Blackwood over here, in the history of gospel music, I am telling you, he is one of the greatest singers gospel music has ever known. And everybody knows that. Please, Larry Strickland, Terry Blackwood. So, Terry Blackwood's Imperials are here. They're going to come to the stage right now. Larry is taking his place where the bass singer sings. Let's get this show started, all right? Let's go. How about it for this amazing band up here?